Nikina yana e yana shena yana kiara na om. E yana kena yana she yana ima yana om yana sham. We are as always delighted to connect with you. We are the High Council of Andromeda, as you human beings have called us. And we love to establish such communication with all of you on Earth. We know very well that mostly because of those like you, we can once again reach out, deliver our teachings, bringing new frequency codes, energizing your planet, and mostly supporting you human beings to reawaken to your highest potential. Now, we know very well that you have contributed in such a wonderful way to the reactivation of so many of the ancient portals on your planet. Well, we bring our gratitude and we share our love because we know indeed that you did so, acting from a place of full love and trust. We firstly encourage you to maintain this state of being, enjoy it, delve into it more and more, deeper and deeper. Let any kind of fear go out. Ask yourself more and more often, what does it come out of fear and what does it come out of love? Follow the thread of love each and every moment, because indeed love opens new doorways for you each and every moment. So whenever you feel like I'm not going to do it because I'm afraid, question that. Stay with it, look into it, and step outside of it. Because this is how you're raising your vibration even more. Sometimes human beings have the impression that they take risks and they don't like it because that brings them out from their comfort zone. But whenever you actually look into that and you realize that there is no risk to be taken, that it's simply about following love and trust. And when you do it, all the risk disappears. It's simply following that which resonates with your heart, even when the mind says this is not possible. So continue to bring yourself more and more into that vibration of unconditional love. Make a goal of your life to spread love, to feel love, to share love with others. Because indeed, this is the best goal that you all human beings can have. Unfortunately, you have forgotten this for many years, and you have started to engage a lot with all sorts of actions that didn't come out of love. You started to give a lot of importance to them, a lot of importance to the outcome of all these actions. But though the most important outcome is to keep the love within yourselves alive. And when each and every action is aligned with that, and when all of your intentions say, I simply wish to share this love, this is when you make the best of your life on earth. Now, because we know very well that your main interest, but also your main fifth dimensional missions, resonate with activating further the ley lines on your planet, and so opening the ancient gateways, but also new fifth dimensional gateways. We would say that even this mission is very much related, is very much aligned with love. To discover the ley lines and where they cross and where they create such energy vortexes means to discover where the electromagnetic field of the earth is different. Because of a different electromagnetic field, it simply happens that your consciousness can align with it better. The coherence between mind and heart increases. That's why whenever you are close to such a portal or sacred place, you're raising your vibration and you're tuning back into your fifth dimensional self, or to say your higher self takes over. So in this case, it's very important to observe these places, to recognize them and to honor them. But also what's very important is to know that such new places or new doorways can be created. Not really in an artificial way, but let's say that you can learn how to tune the earth, tune the land with specific frequencies that will uplift the vibration of the place, changing the electromagnetic field. That's not very hard to do when you understand the technique behind it. For example, when you are creating an energy grid out of specific crystals, like the quartz, the pure quartz, and you're energizing that grid with your intentions. Of course, intentions which are very much aligned with your fifth dimensional mission. And then leaving the crystals in the earth and honoring the place again and again, visualizing the grid. When you're creating the grid, you can even create it in such a way that you're using sacred geometries. Because indeed, when you're doing it, a sacred geometry most probably will create a new electromagnetic field. Now, what happens is that when the sacred geometry has certain large proportions, and those proportions are very well recognized and established and honored, then you'll be opening that gateway into another dimension, being able to maintain the vibration, the frequency of the land in this way. It can happen as well with grids which do not have such large proportions. But then most probably the energy vortex will not stay there for a very long time, but it will serve a very good purpose of energizing the land in that moment and opening new energy vortexes. We always say that if your intentions are right, you will be receiving all the necessary guidance. So now we truly encourage you to establish such new dimensional doorways. It's very essential at this time for you, the ones who stepped on earth for a very long time, to remember that you are the ones indeed creating a new earth. And so when you're establishing new dimensional or interdimensional doorways, you're opening your planet once again as a sacred earth library, which was the initial role of your planet. The earth is a multidimensional library because there were many DNA samples from all across the universe left on your planet. They are still there nowadays, resting in the halls of Amenti. You might have the impression that the DNA sample is what you have learned in school, but we will say that it is much more than that. It's a living organism. It's full of life. It carries different frequencies. The DNA samples are not only ways of storing genetic proof. There are ways of indeed storing frequencies from across the entire universe. When those frequencies are used wisely, they do open indeed ancient interdimensional doorways. At this time, the earth awakens as the library which is supposed to be. It simply happens that the halls of Amenti get to be alive once again, and many of you will remember and will feel drawn to visit them again. It will start happening in the dream state, when many will start dreaming themselves in the halls of Amenti, looking around, feeling the space, tuning into all the energies there. And then, as this will go on, many of you will feel drawn to discover entrances in the halls of Amenti. It is because many have genetic codes which open the gates to the halls of Amenti. The ones who are meant to do it will definitely start remembering or simply feeling drawn to that direction. That's why it is important at this time to follow your intuition, to start guiding others as well, share how you feel, or simply have trust in what your intuition tells you. Because this is the time to reunite with many members of your soul family. You will not be accomplishing this mission all alone. There will be many others like you with the same visions who have received the same messages, the same guidance to go along with you. So be open to meet them. Be open to collaborate with them and to bring your energies together in such a way that the intentions that you bring up will be manifested in no time. And then, as we were sharing with you, start creating new energy fields. Start altering the electromagnetic field of an area. It is so that in some areas on Earth, mostly in the mountain areas, but not only, the electromagnetic field is already very different. And those places have been discovered a long time ago and honored for that. And as they have been honored, they have been opening more and more. But there are ways of creating new such energy fields, as we were sharing with you earlier. And then as you do it, imagine that you are doing the work that your ancestors used to do. You start honoring the land, you start raising its vibration, you start opening new gateways, and this is how indeed the electromagnetic starts changing. This step is very important. And then the next step is to start connecting those points because you'll be creating new ley lines. The old energy grid has been almost fully activated. It just waits for the water that comes from the glaciers to nourish it so it can reach its highest potential. And as this happens, you're very much meant to start creating new such grids and to connect them with one another. So once you do such activations, then follow your intuition and create a new such energy vortex in another place. But when you do it, be sure to visit the place or to have someone who lives there so he or she can nourish that spot as it is until its vibration increases even more. If you establish such a network on the entire planet, what you'll be creating is actually you'll be creating different energy vortexes or pillars of light. When you create them along the entire planet, then what happens is that each pillar of light will feed that entire area of the planet. When the grid gets to be more and more expanded, then imagine that the information will flow naturally from one energy vortex into another. This brings a lot to the human consciousness. It usually facilitates opening abilities like telepathy, feeling a deeper connection with the land, the animals, the nature, and all that is. Being able to see in a distance, being able to feel the subtle energies, to be more empathic, to be more loving. So what we propose you to do as the initiator of this, but we propose also to many others, is to create such new places and to nourish them deeply and to collaborate with others who can create them all over the world. Establish these new pillars of light. Honor them as you wish to. And then as you feel that the energy increased indeed, and the pillars of light started to unite to create a network of such pillars of light, then know that this is how you're collaborating to nourishing the entire planet. It is highly essential at this time that besides the pillars of light that will be established outside the cities in nature, because this is how you preserve the land with the frequencies in the simplest way possible. But it is indeed essential as well for some of you who live in the cities to establish such pillars of light right where you live. This will feed the network of ley lines across all cities of the world. Now, what has happened for many years is that because of certain artificial technologies that have been installed on Earth, like for example the cell phone towers, and not only, the grid, mostly the grid of the cities, started to be affected. It's not really the fifth dimensional grid that once nourished Mother Earth. It's more of a three-dimensional grid which is not really meant to spread. As you establish the pillars of light in your cities, then you're nourishing different parts of the city until a new electromagnetic field opens up. When this happens, usually the other energies are being neutralized. It might also happen that people who live in the cities might become very sensitive and not like the vibration and the energy input of such technologies. All in one would simply happen that the grid will stay very much alive and in tune with the fifth dimensional vibrations. So whenever you have the occasion to be in the city and do such a ceremony, envision the pillar of light. See it being connected firstly with Arcturus, and then from Arcturus to Lyra, and from Lyra to Andromeda, as you already know that Lyra is the entry point for us on Earth. And then as you observe this, nourish that place. Tell others to do it. Maybe simply place something that can attract other people to nourish the place. Maybe plant a tree. Maybe leave a stone. Maybe write a message on a stone in such a way that others would know that the land has been activated and it is meant to be honored. Maybe transform it into a meditation place and simply invite others to meditate there. And so you'll be activating such new places in the cities as well. Indeed, the ones that will be activated in the cities most probably will not stay like that for a very long time. It is because, mostly in the beginning, it will take a while until you can establish such an energy field in the city. But through your own persistence and bringing that love into your work, through uniting with many other souls who receive similar guidance, you will be able to transform or to contribute to the transformation of energies on the entire planet. It is not much until this will be done. There are already so many of you who contribute and have contributed with such great love and joy to such projects. What happens sometimes is that the human mind doubts and says, who am I to do it? Well, you are a prime creator. You are a frequency holder. You are indeed one of those who hold the pillars of light. Therefore, it's very important at this time to remind yourself who you are, to know that actually not many can do it, but mostly those like you can. So honor your gifts, honor the guidance that you have received throughout all these years, honor your connection with all the star beings. And as you do it, have trust that you're indeed channeling that energy, that you're a vessel, that you have all the support in the universe to do it. And then remember, at this time, it is important to gather the tribe, gather your tribe, gather all the members of your soul family. Know that together you're much stronger than alone. There will be times as well when you will be guided to walk alone. But many times you will be guided to stay united with them all. So you can create what you're meant to create in such a way that the new energy fields remain there, remain activated, and indeed they shift the energy of the entire planet. We also wish to share with you that such energy grids have already been established, mostly in England, in many of the areas which are surrounding Stonehenge, and not only. Such areas have been established or re-established in Egypt, around the Giza pyramid, and to many other pyramids which are not so well known. There have been such areas very well established on the entire space of the US, mostly in areas like Mount Shasta, in South and North Dakota, in areas around New Jersey, and not only. And then there were such areas very well prepared in places like Bosnia, mostly around the pyramid. There are other areas that have been established in Slovenia, Bulgaria, and Romania, which were very well prepared, which indeed already enhanced the electromagnetic field of the land. And there are many other areas all across the earth in many other countries like Sweden and Germany, Denmark as well, which are awakening right now. So we invite you all to contribute to that. Unite the energy of the pillars of light. Have trust that your work is extremely important at this time. Honor it as it is, and please do not tell yourselves that you're not important. Do not make yourself small. Do not identify once again with your body and personalities, because you are indeed interdimensional beings with multidimensional aspects. You're very much meant to do this work, or to say it is done through you. When you're opening to multidimensional consciousness, you realize that you're much more than the body and much more than the mind and whatever you have identified with. And then when you realize that there is a presence behind all that, and you step into that presence, this is when you awaken to your full potential. And all this work happens through that presence. It doesn't happen through your mind. It doesn't happen otherwise. It simply happens to that quantum field that you all are. So enjoy all this and have trust. Know that you're very much meant to do everything that we have shared with you. Know as well that all the right people will come to you, that they will reach out, that whenever your intentions say, I'm ready to meet my tribe, you will do so. Then allow all this to be done through. Keep following the love and trust within. Keep asking the question, is this coming out of love or is it coming out of fear? Keep stepping out of your comfort zone and know very much that you're meant to do it. Even if it is unpleasant sometimes. Well, when it is unpleasant, you're breaking through layers of fear. That's why it is unpleasant. But as you do it, more and more love will replace that. We are always so proud of all of you for all the changes that you're bringing into your lives. We know very well that everything happens just as it is supposed to happen. We love you indeed. We understand you. And at the highest level, we are you. We thank you, and we truly hope to re-establish such connections with you all as soon as possible. Ana kina ena na shana yara ona yana kiana shana ona yana e yana sha. Diana kiana e yana ara na kiana o ma yana sha.